Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 6. Tonight, reversing course, WestJet cancels its plans to provide less legroom for certain seats.
This is the best outcome we could have hoped for.
Signing for separation. Canvassers begin collecting signatures for a petition in favor of Alberta leaving Canada.
We need our freedom. We need to be able to make our own decisions.
And bursting batteries, a warning from first responders after two similar apartment fires.
These fires are extremely dangerous to people and property.
Big warm-up on tap for tomorrow, but it does look like the wind will turn gusty through the afternoon, and that wind will draw in a big cool down for Sunday.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
WestJet is dropping its new seating configuration. The choice comes less than 2 weeks after a woman from Edmonton shared a video of her parents squeezing into their economy seats. The video sparked outrage among air travelers worried about their comfort and safety. CTV's Jeremy Thompson joins us now. So, Jeremy, how is WestJet explaining their decision?
Yeah, well, Matt, the airline says feedback from passengers and staff about its new seating inspired the reversal. It had already paused work on reconfiguring some of its 737 jets back in December, though this video shared earlier this month supercharged backlash from the public.
Dad, can you just straighten out your legs there?
Impossible.
Amanda Schmidt and her family were on a flight from Edmonton to Toronto and were surprised to see how close the rows were to each other. Schmidt says she took the video because she found the lack of legroom comical. WestJet says the so-called densified seating was brought in to give passengers cheaper ticket options. In a press release, the CEO now says as an entrepreneurial airline founded on making air travel affordable to Canadians, it's in our DNA to try new products. At the same time, it is just as important to react quickly if they don't meet the needs of our guests.
This is the best outcome we could have hoped for, and it wasn't on my 2026 bingo card to be a initiator of plane seat changes. I think it was definitely in their best interest to listen to the people.
Schmidt says WestJet has not reached out to her about the video. The reversal means 22 WestJet planes will have one row of seats removed. The timeline for that work is still being determined. And this decision is a costly one for WestJet. The densified layout went through a full safety and certification process before the seats were installed. Those 22 planes will need to be recertified once the extra row is removed. WestJet has 189 planes in its fleet, Matt.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. The Alberta government has launched an online dashboard to share information about surgery wait times and certain screenings. It will eventually expand to include primary health care data and information on assisted living, addictions, and mental health. The dashboard was one of the measures the provincial government said would be coming to help improve the system. Emergency room physicians have called for the province to declare a state of emergency to deal with health care pressures. While Hospitals Minister Matt Jones says that won't happen, Dr. Paul Parks was pleased to hear they're aware of the problems.
Acknowledge that this was, we weren't crying wolf, that it really is difficult and it is really hard to give safe and timely care. So we need to do all the short-term mitigating strategies that we know we've done in the past that will work. And we have to show Albertans, they have to show Albertans they're accountable.
Parks says he's glad the government is working on a long-term plan for Alberta's healthcare system, but the short-term relief still needs to be proven. Edmonton Fire Rescue is reminding people to dispose of lithium-ion batteries the correct way. It comes after emergency crews battled two different apartment fires caused by e-bike batteries. CTV's Nara Manisa reports.
Twice this week, Edmonton Fire Rescue Services has had to deal with an apartment fire caused by an electric bike battery. At least one person was injured.
So over the last few years, as lithium-ion batteries become more of a common part of our day, we have seen an increase in fires with these batteries as the cause.
Items like cell phones, laptops, watch batteries, and vapes all use a lithium-ion battery. If the battery becomes unstable, it can overheat, explode, and even cause a fire.
In 2025, we investigated 8 of these fires. While that number appears small, These fires are extremely dangerous to people and property and can cause challenges for our crews.
Edmonton Fire says there are several ways to stay safe. Do not charge devices overnight and any longer than necessary. Only use batteries and chargers provided or recommended by the manufacturer. Do not alter or modify the batteries. Dispose of them correctly at an eco-station. The city's waste processing department says improperly disposed of batteries have caused several fires at its facilities.
We have over 200 people in our facility working, helping sorting the waste, processing the waste, transferring the waste. Those folks are put at risk when these batteries end up in the garbage.
We haven't dealt with an e-bike fire here directly as of late. Hopefully not yet.
E-bikes are big business at Cranky's bike shop.
If you're storing an e-bike on your balcony and the battery is able to be taken out, take the battery out is a must. If you're unable to remove your e-bike battery, I suggest storing it inside.
Edmonton Fire says prevention is key to reduce the risk. Naram Nisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Canvassing is underway across the province for the Citizen Initiative petition calling for Alberta to leave Canada. CTV's Connor Hogg visited a community hall near Wetaskiwin where people say they're tired of federal overreach and worried about the future.
Albertans arrived early at Lone Ridge Community Hall near Wetaskiwin, eager to add their names to the list of signatures calling for a referendum on Alberta independence.
I just wanted to get this done, and I think more Albertans need to come and get signed up for this too. We need our freedom. We need to be able to make our own decisions.
We're pretty excited about the fact that we're getting long lineups around the halls to sign. That's always wonderful. We're not having to chase people around. They're coming to us.
Petition proponent Mitch Sylvester says Stay Free Alberta wants to collect more than the 177,000 signatures it needs. He says the goal is getting higher based on the support they're hearing.
Our goal is to make this too big to ignore. So you know what? Based on what's happening right now, that's a definite possibility.
People here say the message resonates with them because of the relationship they say Alberta has with the rest of Canada.
They won't give us our pipelines. They don't support oil. They've never been on our side since the beginning.
No representation. We have no representation in Western Canada.
If we separate, more jobs will open up because the government likes to hold that stuff out.
Seems like we're getting robbed by the East so much that we've got to stand up.
Sylvester says his motivations began at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, when his store was forced to close.
They shut my store down, and Canadian Tire and Walmart were open down the road.
I'm worried for our children's children if we don't do this.
People are upset. They want their freedom. They want their say, and they want to be able to afford to live.
A canvassing event will be held in Edmonton at Rundle Park tomorrow. More planned across Alberta in the coming weeks. In Wetaskiwin County, Connor Hogg, CTV News.
Some Alberta canola farmers are happy about a deal that the Prime Minister has reached with China. China will drop levies on some agricultural goods like canola meal and lobster. In exchange, the federal government will allow Chinese electric vehicles into Canada's market. Some canola farmers say this could help struggling farms by bumping up the price of canola.
We needed this very, very badly. It gets back to we've been shut out of China. They are our second biggest customer, and we needed to bring them back into the fold. We met with the Prime Minister in September and have been working and in contact with the federal government since then. And, it is really nice to see that they're paying attention. They listen to us.
Premier Danielle Smith also welcomed the news, noting that trade partnerships like this acknowledge the important role of energy in Canada's future. We will dig deeper into the new Canada-Chinese trade deal a little later in the newscast. Calgary has lifted water restrictions after a water main rupture last month. While the pipe is now fixed, the race is now on to replace it. CTV's Stephanie Thomas reports.
There is light at the end of the pipe.
Calgary Mayor Jeremy Farkas gleefully announced the end of water restrictions for the nearly 2 million people affected. Patch repair work on the Bears Paw feeder main that re-ruptured on December 30th is complete.
On behalf of our crews on the ground and behind the scenes and the entire city of Calgary, thank you.
There are no longer restrictions on dishwashers, laundry, or toilets. Showers and baths can run without time limits. Pools, hot tubs, kiddie pools, and steam rooms at recreation centers can be refilled and reused as normal. But city officials have a warning.
If there is another break, or when we need to shut down the feeder main again for planned reinforcements, we're once again going to need your help to save water.
Work for the replacement pipe has begun. Contracts have been signed and materials ordered. But the spring schedule around the work that will return Calgary water restrictions is still to come.
We need to do what would normally take 4 years in one single calendar year. That's the challenge.
But we do know the new pipe will run under Boness. Some residents say they continue to bear the brunt of this emergency.
Quite frankly, I'm feeling very on edge. I'm trying to prepare and be as optimistic as possible, but I am prepared for the worst. I just wish that the city would, as a whole, take it seriously. I was doing my part and my family, and we were really limiting our showers.
Water consumption stayed in the unsustainable zone for most of this recent crisis. Water experts say Calgarians should continue to conserve water.
Really think about the water before you turn on the tap. Take that extra second to go, do I need to turn this on? How long do I need to keep this tap on?
Although crews are prepared to respond, Calgary's mayor says this feeder main remains a ticking time bomb.
The organizer of one of Edmonton's winter celebrations is over the moon. The city cleared festival roads just in time for the start of the event. Deep Freeze, a Byzantine winter festival, takes over 118th Avenue this weekend. City graders started scraping roadways yesterday afternoon. Organizers had put a plea out to the city to clear the area to make it safer for guests.
We are just so grateful. It actually brings tears to my eyes knowing how Edmonton loves these festivals, how this is so important that we get together and celebrate and have these rituals in the wintertime of community.
Morin says volunteers are now helping to make sure the area is as accessible as possible. The city says the snow clearing was done within established schedules and at no additional cost. A resident of West Edmonton Mall is showing people how to avoid slipping and falling on ice forming on walkways around the city.
Millie. Good girl.
Millie is an African penguin and a member of WEM's marine life team. Her handler says humans can learn a thing or two from Millie to avoid falling on the ice. Take short steps, keep your hands out of your pockets, spread your arms to your side, and don't rush.
If you have to go out walking on the ice, taking your time, short steps, keep your phones in your pockets. Millie doesn't have a phone, so she doesn't have to worry about that so much. But as long as you're taking your time, you should be good to go.
Feltham says penguins can still take a spill because they're not very graceful.
Oh.
So cute, isn't she, Josh? She was probably enjoying the weather today, a few degrees cooler out there than what we've been experiencing the rest of the week.
Yeah, first time in almost a week that daytime highs did not get above zero today. We'll get back into the 6 or 7 degree range for a daytime high tomorrow. It was -3 earlier this afternoon. Started the day at -9. -5 is the average daytime high for this time of year, so back a lot closer to average than we've been, and you can see it was last Friday, the last time the temperatures were not only below zero for a daytime high, but below 5 degrees. We had 6 straight days with daytime highs above 5 degrees. We should be back into that range for one more day tomorrow, and then things will cool off for Sunday and the rest of next week. It's -8 in Edmonton right now as temperatures have slipped fairly quickly after hitting -3 earlier this afternoon. -12 at Elk Island. Nice to see the wind down after a gusty day yesterday. As expected, it was a calm day today and a sunny one as well. Although that is changing now the sun's down, and also because we got some cloud cover sliding in from the west-northwest. Those clouds will push through mid to late this evening and then be out of here by tomorrow morning. So a sunny start to the day and a warm start to the day, warmer than it will be later on tonight. We'll get to about -10, -11 here mid-evening, and then temperatures will start to climb. We'll get all the way up to about 6 or 7 degrees early tomorrow afternoon, and then the wind starts to kick in through the afternoon hours. Gusts to about 40 or 50 kilometers per hour. As we mentioned right off the top of the newscast, that'll draw in some colder air for Sunday. A closer look at that and the real cool down for next week. later in the newscast.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, the return of Perry Pern.
Love my time here and great memories.
A longtime Nate hockey coach is back at his old school, this time leading the Chinese hockey team. Also just ahead.
As we learn about this event, we get more and more excited about it.
How a 24-hour pickleball tournament will help lung transplant patients in Edmonton.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
200 people from across Western Canada will be in Edmonton next weekend for a pickleball tournament. It will support Canada's first facility for lung transplant patients and their families. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, the tournament was about to be canceled until a local group stepped in to help.
A week from now, the pickleballs will be flying for 24 hours.
Not everybody at once, but they play continuously, and it's the first that we can find in Canada.
The tournament is a fundraiser for Alberta Lung. It was supposed to happen in October. 3 days before the event, Rays Athletics in St. Albert closed without warning, leaving the organization without a venue.
And then the hunt began. What are we going to do? Where are we going to host it? How are we going to do this? We have all these players and money raised. What are we going to do?
After CTV News aired a story about their situation, Alberta Lung got a phone call from the owners of Edmonton Sports Centre.
I talked about it with our partners, and for us it was a no-brainer that we would like to step in and ensure that the event still happens.
The centre donated the space for the tournament.
The generosity and support that this group of companies, these people have done, has just been outstanding. We are so grateful to them.
As we learn about this event, we get more and more excited about it.
Alberta Lung hopes to raise $100,000 through the tournament, and it's about $10,000 short of that goal. Money that will go towards building Canada's first home away from home for lung transplant patients. Edmonton is one of only 4 centres in Canada that offer lung transplant programs.
Housing and out-of-pocket expenses for these families is astronomical. And so to give them a safe, calming environment for them to come and heal and then go back to their communities is life-changing for these folks.
Every 4 hours, the tournament will have a new theme with players dressed up in different costumes. Lee Allard says there will be lots happening off the courts too, with games, food vendors, and a market.
People are here to do a good cause, but they love pickleball. It's a great exercise for everybody, but the themes are going to be so much fun. You got to come out and check it out.
The tournament starts next Friday at 7 p.m. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
While the Prime Minister and a team of Canadian diplomats are in China, a Chinese team is visiting Edmonton. They're not here to discuss trade or politics, though. The Chinese national hockey team is facing off against a number of teams in Alberta, and their head coach spent years coaching in our region. CTV's Evan Kenny has the story.
From the late 70s to the early 90s, Perry Pern won hundreds of games as Nate's former head coach. Now he's trying to beat his alma mater as the coach of Team China.
Love my time here and great memories. So, obviously it's fun to be back in the building.
The Chinese national team is playing 9 games against university and college teams across Alberta.
We're trying to grow the program. We hope to get out of these games is, to be taught some lessons by, good players from North America, and I know the quality of the ACAC.
Nate's coach tells me the two sides began organizing the series back in the summer, and he was excited when this opportunity was presented to him. The players agree and add, it's not every day they get to take on international talent.
It was definitely a shock for us. Not every day you get to play a national team, and it's good exposure for us as well. So we're looking to just treat this like a normal game and really give them a battle.
It's special for me. It's unique to play against a team like this.
Scott Fellnermeyer says Pern has been a mentor to him and believes the Chinese team to be a tough test.
I'm expecting them to really want the game, to really want the win when it's Perry Pern, his old school. I'm excited to go give him our best here.
The two teams will face off again tomorrow night at 6. Nate will honor Perry Pern during a ceremony prior to puck drop. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Professional lacrosse is returning to Edmonton tonight for one night only. Players are promising a physical, high-speed match. The Calgary Roughnecks and the Georgia Swarm are facing off at Rogers Place. It's the first time in more than a decade a National Lacrosse League game has been played here. One Swarm player says many people believe it's expensive to play lacrosse, but he fell in love with it while growing up on a small Native American reserve in upstate New York.
I grew up using a traditional wooden stick. It was used one stick for 6 years, and I fell in love with the stick, and I fell in love with the culture and the teachings of what the game could bring.
The last time there was an NLL game in Edmonton was in 2015 when the former Edmonton Rush hoisted the championship trophy. The next year, the team was moved to Saskatchewan. The league commissioner isn't ruling out bringing a team back to Edmonton. He says for now, though, the league is focused on putting on a great show tonight and hopefully creating some new fans. Connor McDavid's career-high point streak has come to an end. Connor McDavid had scored 46 points through his last 20 games until he and the Oilers were shut out by the New York Islanders 1-0 last night. It was the first game McDavid failed to record a point since December 2nd. It was also the first time the Islanders have won a game in Edmonton since 2017. The Oilers traveled to Vancouver to face the Canucks Saturday. After that, they play 8 games in a row here in Edmonton. Still to come tonight on CTV News, an Antarctica adventure.
Just a life-changing experience.
How an Alberta teacher ended up joining a National Geographic expedition. Also tonight.
The performances, if you're just here to listen, you're going to be thrilled.
A weekend jam session, a 3-day Bluegrass festival is just getting started.
And it'll be a 50-50 weekend for weather here in the Edmonton area. Warm, but turning windy tomorrow, and then cooler on Sunday, a sign of things to come for next week. All those details after the break.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
National Geographic expeditions take place all over the world. A select few grade school educators get to join researchers and scientists on these adventures. A Calgary teacher was one of 3 Canadians selected to explore Antarctica in December. CTV's Kevin Fleming has more on the experience.
So here we are with an amazing 10,000 penguin colony behind me.
It was a 14-day adventure that Court Rustemeyer is still trying to absorb. He was part of an expedition to the Arctic from December 8th to the 23rd, selected as a National Geographic Grosvenor Teacher Fellow.
Just a life-changing experience, truly like a professional development of a lifetime, of a dream. I thought about places I could not probably get there on my own or necessarily afford kind of thing, but where could I go and really capitalize on seeing this earth?
I'm doing some comparisons between Rocky Mountain glaciers and these Antarctic glaciers. Challenge.
He was one of 35 teachers from across North America on the Icebreaker Endurance exploring the frozen landscape. December is summer in Antarctica with temperatures only at -3 and even warmer.
This is amazing. So, but also at the same time in your head you're like climate change, and then you're kind of smiling, well, kind of like now in Calgary today, and then you're also kind of a little worried as well and questioned about it.
Rustemeyer is sharing what he's learned and some of the 4,000 pictures he's taken with students in his outdoor leadership program.
We were all kind of rooting for him as a big ODL family, and it was really cool to see that he was actually able to go on it, so we were super happy for him.
And just how it was a great opportunity to like get outside and like a big chance, because there's only I think 3 people from Canada that got to do that. So it's just an amazing opportunity.
Isla Carlson is impressed with all the wildlife pictures.
He showed us pictures of orcas, like killer whales. So those were really cool to see.
Rustemeyer still finds it hard to believe he stood on the continent at the bottom of the world and got to explore it.
I hope that I can maybe inspire one kid out there or one teacher that, hey, like you can chase some of those dreams and you can, push your limits a little bit.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Josh, I don't think it's going to be like Arctic cold this weekend, but certainly going to feel...
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week, yeah.
Yeah, by Friday of next week, we'll be in the -15 to -20 range again for daytime highs. So you got that to look forward to.
Yeah, oh boy, oh boy.
There's what it looks like outside right now. It's the River Valley Skycam brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. It's -8 in Edmonton after -3 for a daytime high. You get a little bit of a spread in temperatures here, anywhere between -6 and -9, depending on where you are in the city. Daytime highs today were a lot colder as expected in east central and northeastern Alberta, -17 in Fort McMurray today, while Jasper got to -2. It was -2 as well in Red Deer. There's your cloud cover starting to slide in, and that's out ahead of a nice little upper ridge. Now, I don't think the core of that ridge will slide through, so we won't get into the warmest air, but we will see a little low pressure system sneak across into northern Alberta, and that should help to draw in at least some warm air for tomorrow. Here's your Arctic high that brought the cold air to eastern Alberta today. That's gone by tomorrow. This low produces some snow around Fort McMurray, maybe a little rain snow mix in the high level region tomorrow morning. The big story, though, is this push of warm air that comes in at the surface out of the west, southwest. Now, because that ridge still kind of lags back to the west and doesn't really come through, this is going to be a one-off, and it actually won't even last all day tomorrow. We'll get our warmest temperatures here in Edmonton somewhere around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then on the backside of this system, some strong northerly wind starts to kick in. Gusts should be 40 to 50 kilometers per hour through the afternoon and right into Saturday evening. We'll get some cloud cover by tomorrow afternoon as well after a sunny start to the day. And by Sunday, a fresh new Arctic high drops in and brings some colder temperatures. As Matt said, though, not quite Arctic cold yet on Sunday. So about 6 or 7 tomorrow, -5 range for a high Sunday. We'll level off somewhere just slightly below 0, it looks like, for Monday, Tuesday, and then there is the big drop in temperature, -10 range by Thursday and -15 to 20 range by the end of next week and next weekend. It is -24 right now in Fort McMurray. -17, Lloydminster, -7, though, in Jasper at the other end of the province. Here in Edmonton, after -3 for a high today, -8 right now. We'll drop a couple more degrees later on tonight, and then temperatures will start to climb. Light wind overnight and tomorrow morning. By lunchtime or early afternoon, those gusts start to kick up. So, yeah, that looks good on the surface. It is going to be a little windy, though, to go along with those warm and sloppy temperatures. The next cool down, as we said, puts us back to -5 on Sunday. Monday, you can make the case that maybe we get one more day there, a degree above 0. I've got us at -1 right now, but maybe we're a little bit milder than that. Next chance of snow. A few flurries potentially Tuesday of next week.
All right, Josh, thank you. A local festival for fans of Bluegrass is just getting started. The second annual River City Bluegrass Festival is happening at the Edmonton Inn and Conference Centre on Kingsway. A number of bands will be playing over the next 3 days. There are also opportunities to improve your own instrument and singing skills through workshops and jam sessions. The festival is also hosting a Kids Fiddle Academy.
We have about 28 kids participating in a Kid Fiddle Academy. They're going to put together a little program, and they're going to present it on the main stage tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And it's a lot of fun to see them and to get them in touch with bluegrass music. That's what we want to do, create the next generation.
The performer list and festival schedule is on the Northern Bluegrass Circle Society website. Tickets are available online or at the door. When we return, reducing barriers to trade.
We're building a web of new connections with China.
Canada and China strike a deal to bring more electric cars to Canada and more agriculture products to China. Plus,
it's just a terrible, terrible, miscalculated decision by the Prime Minister.
How that new trade agreement could pit parts of the country against one another. Stay with us.
Programming brought to you by the Billy Joel Songbook with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is hailing his new trade deal with China as a landmark strategic partnership, one he says sets Canada up for what he calls the new world order. It means more Chinese-made electric vehicles will soon be on Canadian roads, with more Canadian agriculture and food products on Chinese shelves. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver has more from Beijing.
The stalls at Beijing's busy food markets will soon be filled with more Canadian lobster, seafood and canola products after Canada and China signed what the Prime Minister is calling a landmark trade agreement.
We're building a web of new connections with China to create transformative opportunities for Canadian workers, build more stability, more certainty and prosperity on both sides of the Pacific.
As part of that deal, China will remove all existing tariffs on Canadian canola meal, lobsters, crab, and peas until at least the end of the year, and permanently reduce its tariff on canola seed to 15%. The tariffs on canola oil and pork will remain.
If you're a canola farmer, you're probably cautiously optimistic that something's going to come from this because we don't know the full details. But if you're a Canadian auto worker, this is devastating news because they know that this is going to undercut North American produced vehicles.
In exchange, Canada will let 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles into Canada, essentially tariff-free, increasing that amount every year after. By 2030, half of those EVs should cost a maximum of $35,000.
We need to look at this in the context of building. I mean, we're building a new part of our car industry. Building cars of the future in partnership.
The new trade pact that encourages Chinese investment in Canada's auto sector was announced hours after Carney shook hands with the Chinese president, closing the deal on a 5-pillar strategic partnership meant to tear down trade barriers and forge new ties in areas from finance to energy and tourism.
A healthy and stable China-Canada relationship serves the common interests of our two countries. It is also good for the peace, stability, and prosperity of the world.
The Prime Minister says concerns about foreign interference and human rights were brought up in his private meeting with Xi Jinping. He leaves Beijing tomorrow for Qatar, where he will once again try to drum up business investment. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Beijing, China.
The trade deal with China covers more than just cars and canola. It will also affect other industries and Canadians. As CTV's Rachel Aiello reports, the new agreement is being met with strong and split reactions from premiers and sectors facing tariffs.
It's just a terrible, terrible, miscalculated decision by the Prime Minister.
Ontario's Premier slamming the federal government for not consulting the auto industry before agreeing to allow more Chinese EVs into Canada.
We're letting China into a market that's going to have lower tariffs than our largest market, the U.S. They're going to undermine every auto manufacturer here.
The pact Carney and President Xi made, potentially pitting parts of the country against each other. But the Premier of Canada's largest canola-producing province doesn't see it that way.
The canola industry, the oilseed industry, the pulse industry is important to virtually each and every part of this country, up to and including Ontario.
Some sectors are elated about markets opening up again, while others are still waiting for relief.
While there was a deal announced for lobster and crab, there's many other species that weren't included that are subject to retaliatory tariffs. I'm thinking, cold water shrimp, sea cucumber, whelk.
We need to see the pork tariffs taken off as well.
While doing more business with economies like China may be divisive, experts today said it's key to Canada diversifying trade.
If you're going to do that on planet Earth, you're going to have to trade with China.
The new partnership also includes increasing cultural and tourism ties. Carney said Xi has agreed to allow visa-free access for Canadians traveling to China. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
There were some mixed messages coming out of the White House today in response to Canada's new deal with China.
Well, I think it's problematic for Canada. There's a reason why we don't sell a lot of Chinese cars in the United States. It's because we have tariffs to protect American auto workers and Americans from those vehicles. The Canadians were trying to get some tariff relief on their own to get ag into there. I think in the long run, they're not going to like having made that deal.
Later in the day, when President Trump was asked about the deal between Ottawa and Beijing, he appeared to welcome the news.
That's okay. That's what he should be doing. I mean, it's a good thing for him to sign a trade deal. If you can get a deal with China, you should do that.
The president mused about slapping tariffs on countries that don't support his push to assert U.S. control over Greenland. Several European countries have said doing so by force would mean the end of NATO. Trump repeated his claim the U.S. needs the Arctic territory for national security. He says the military alliance and Washington are talking. The Federal Court of Appeal has ruled the Trudeau government's use of the Emergencies Act during the Freedom Convoy protest was unreasonable. The court dismissed the government's appeal today of a 2024 ruling For about 3 weeks in 2022, a section of downtown Ottawa was blocked off by protesters, including many in large trucks around Parliament Hill. The protests challenged pandemic restrictions and vaccine mandates. The federal government responded by invoking the Emergencies Act, granting additional powers to clear blockades and freeze bank accounts. The Public Safety Minister's office says it's reviewing the ruling. The RCMP is making a database of child sex offenders available to the public for the first time. The RCMP says only offenders deemed as high risk are included in the database. The RCMP commissioner says the database is meant to help the public get informed and make decisions when it comes to protecting kids. It relies on provincial, territorial, and municipal police to recommend the individuals who should be included in the database. Coming up next on CTV News, weight loss warning.
All these faux Ozempic ads need to stop.
How fraudsters are targeting people with fake weight loss drugs and schemes. Here's a look at the markets for this Friday. The Canadian dollar is down, trading for 71 cents to the American dollar. Oil was up 26 cents today, closing the day at $59.34 U.S. a barrel. Gold dropped $28.30. The TSX ended the day higher, up 11 points. The Dow Jones, though, dropped 83 points. There's a new warning from the Better Business Bureau about the rise in weight loss drug schemes. As more people use drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy, there are more people being duped into buying fake versions of the popular medications. NBC's Liz Kreutz reports.
All these faux Ozempic ads need to stop.
A new alert about weight loss drug scams. The Better Business Bureau warning consumers that a growing number of fake ads and websites are flooding social media, with scammers impersonating doctors, setting up phony pharmacies, and in some cases even creating deep fake videos featuring celebrities like this one, which appears to show Oprah promoting a natural pink salt weight loss drug.
Ladies, let me show you how easy it is to make this new pink salt plus ice recipe.
According to the Better Business Bureau, over just 2 months, they received more than 170 complaints about a pink salt supplement called Lipomax, with many of the customers reporting they were duped into buying the product after seeing the AI Oprah endorsing it. Oprah, who is not involved with Lipomax, writing last year, "Every week, my lawyers and I are playing whack-a-mole with fake AI videos of me selling everything from gummies to pink salt," adding, "If you see an ad with my face on a product, it's fake." NBC News has attempted to reach Lipomax for comment. The Better Business Bureau says the company told them the AI-generated videos are not endorsed or produced by them.
How prolific is this right now?
There are at least 500 different new websites, new pop-up ads, new advertisements being created daily.
According to the cybersecurity company Checkpoint Software, the scams are particularly bad right now, with fraudsters taking advantage of New Year's weight loss resolutions and the exploding popularity of GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro. 1 in 8 Americans say they're now taking one, including celebrities like Oprah and Serena Williams.
For me, the answer was GLP-1s.
But experts say the high costs of the FDA-approved versions of those drugs can make the knockoffs more enticing, like this one, an oral liquid that claims you can lose 20 pounds for just $30.
Those types of claims are completely unfounded. They want your money and they want out.
A new study finds financial stress could be just as harmful for your heart as more traditional risk factors. Researchers looked at data on more than 280,000 adults in the United States between 2018 and 2023. They found people who reported higher levels of financial stress and food insecurity usually had a more advanced cardiovascular age than would otherwise be expected. That's a measure of how old a person's heart and blood vessels look relative to their actual age. The authors say the findings reinforce the importance of considering non-medical factors that may play a role in your health. The findings were published in Mayo Clinic Proceedings. New research suggests horses may be able to smell human fear. A study published in peer-reviewed journal PLOS One shows when horses smelled sweat from people watching scenes from the horror movie Sinister, they startled more easily and had higher heart rates. That's compared to horses who smelled sweat from people watching happier clips from Singing in the Rain. Researchers say while more studies are needed, the findings suggest fear transferred through odor could be contagious between humans and horses. And here's a unique look at the Aurora Borealis. A Japanese astronaut on board the International Space Station took these stunning shots. The night sky lit up in a spectacular form. He says he's happy to have captured the images, imagining people seeing it and smiling with joy. When we return, a running record.
She didn't just set it, she destroyed the record by 8 seconds.
A 70-year-old in Saskatchewan running her way into the record books.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk.
Coming up on your morning Monday, some say kids seem more dysregulated right now because of bad parenting. We're joined by a child psychologist who says that's wrong, and we'll talk about what's really to blame. We'll see what it says.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
A 70-year-old runner from Saskatoon is celebrating a new Canadian record. CTV's Laura Woodward has more on the achievement and her message to others.
Lynn Warwick-Epp has done it, running the indoor mile in 7 minutes, 12.28 seconds, setting a Canadian record for women in the 70 age category.
She didn't just set it, she destroyed the record by 8 seconds.
The previous record set by an Ontario runner was untouched for nearly 2 decades.
She nailed this race. She had an excellent pace and she kept it up and got the performance she wanted.
Among her biggest fans, the ones who call her Baba.
She's energetic, very energetic. She gets us a lot of treats, which is nice.
While most people dread getting older, Warwick-Epp was actually counting down to her 70th birthday, eager to race in a different age group.
So when I turned 70 and I started looking at records, I thought, oh yeah, I think I can get that one, yeah.
She started running in her early 20s as a way to quit smoking.
So I dropped cigarettes and I picked up the runners and I haven't looked back since.
Warwick-Epp says running has carried her through some of life's toughest times. She encourages everyone, no matter their age, to find what moves them.
I mean, it doesn't have to be running. It can be cycling, it can be swimming or kayaking or whatever. But I just feel that outdoor fitness is so critical for your health, for your mental health and your physical health.
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, one more warm-up tomorrow. -4 by tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be climbing overnight tonight. And about 7 degrees for a daytime high early in the afternoon. We'll see some sunshine through the first half of the day, and then the wind will start to pick up in the afternoon. The clouds will start to roll in, and temperatures will drop back to about -5 on Sunday. That's no worse than average. That's pretty close to where we were today. That's not a bad winter day. Right around -1 for daytime highs Monday, Tuesday, with the chance of some flurries on Tuesday. Doesn't look like heavy snow, but maybe a few flurries. The real cool down comes next week. You get a chance of some snow Thursday. That might be a couple centimeters worth. And daytime highs, I mean,
-10.
Look at this, that drop. It's been a good run here for the last week or so. Winter is returning next week.
Just when I was feeling nice and warm, that cold weather is going to feel brutal next week when it finally hits.
You got a couple days.
Josh, thanks very much. Have a great weekend. See you again on Monday.